Agency in Motion Continuing Education Series. Once again, this is an ongoing series designed for producers, advisors, or agency builders in the financial services industry. Today's topic of conversation centers around building distribution of your products and services through effective recruiting. So what does that mean? How to get it done and what to look for, and how to organize your time and your communication around what's going to get you the best possible results, depending on what you're trying to do. Here today, we're talking about building distribution. First thing that you have to understand is if you're going to go out in the open marketplace and try to attract top talent, people into your business, you need something that is a turnkey business system that you have in place, meaning that you have something that's plug and play, you have something that's predictable, and you have something profitable that you can introduce in the marketplace and immediately come in and plug them into the system. So a turnkey business system is an absolute must if you're going to attract and retain talent into your organization to help you build this distribution. There are tons of people on the move right now. So if you look at they're leaving voluntarily or involuntarily right now, people are on the move. So what you need to understand is as a headhunter, as a recruiter, as a builder, it's a great time to go out there if you have certain things in place and have the right types of conversations with the right types of people. You know, it can form mutually beneficial relationships and help them reach their goals, you reach your organizational goals, etc. But that all dials back and starts with the exact same thing that we preach on the client side, which is you can't just have random conversations with random people continuously. That's just going to throw things against the wall. And that's really not how you're going to build effective distribution. You need a partner profile, a persona. Who are you actively going after? Who is your perfect partner? What is that person? What makes them up? And then secondarily, where are you going to find them? And then third, what is your message to those people that's going to resonate with the percentage of those raising their hand saying, yes, I want more information. Yes, I want to talk to you about this. There is going to be a value in what you bring, you know, however you're building your business, whatever your disruptive points are, whatever your innovative points are, whatever your competitive advantages are, that's going to bring about value. And that value has to be introduced into the marketplace and recognized on the other side for it to be worth anything. So what you have to understand is going back to the partner persona, if you're dialed into that persona, then you're talking to the same types of people with the same types of conversation. Those value points are going to be recurring with that persona. And it becomes very easy for you to go out and raise awareness about those value points that are recurring with your persona. So what is the value that you bring? What is the value that your model brings? What's going to set them aside and not have to compete in this industry, but actually stand alone with things like innovation? So raise awareness about those value points in those conversations with the same types of persona. And then it just becomes a sorting process, just like on the client side. In recruitment, you need to think outside the box. Remember, every company hires, grows, and invest in the process. So you need to think outside the box. What's going to get you in front of those people that you're trying to get in front of with, like we talk about, the message that resonates and has them wanting to respond back, asking for more. And then you also need to think like a business owner. If you're going to build a business, don't think from an individual perspective. Think about team, think about distribution, think about what you need, the solutions that you bring, the vision, the teamwork, the contacts, all of these things, constantly thinking about both sides of your business. How do I create a better client experience? And then what we're talking about today, how do I create an effective partner recruitment process that's going to be a predictable strategy and have a track record for success. Also, as a business owner, this is not about next week or even next month. You need to have a clear vision for the upcoming months and years, because like we always talk about, in recruitment, you're going to have to sell a vision. And if you're a leader who can sell a vision, people are going to be attracted to somebody who they think can help them reach their goals. So have a vision, understand what you're trying to accomplish, and then go out in the marketplace and be able to articulate that clearly, concisely, in a way that makes sense for the other side. You also, in recruitment, in your conversation, need to understand how people make money, and be able to explain that to somebody. How are they going to generate the cash flow they're looking for? Is your business got one revenue stream, multiple revenue streams? How do they extract the most value out of your business model? And once again, how do they create the cash flow that they're looking for? It goes back to the art of conversation. It's something that's a skill set that we need to work on until we master it, because it's not about you. And just like on the client side, it's about the other side, helping them understand, where are they now? What are they trying to do, or where are they trying to get to? What's been standing in their way? How are they going to do it? And then how you fit in. So what you need to understand is it's a little bit different from the client conversation, because potential partners are going to want to know, hey, what you've built, what you're bringing to me, what you're introducing, is it real? And then secondarily, how can I do this? And then third, who's going to help me? Those are the basic questions. They come through in a lot of different forms, but these are the basic three. Is it real? How can I do this? And who's going to help me accomplish it, get to the goals that I've set, and get those. On the other side, what we're effectively trying to find out is, hey, what have you been doing professionally up to this point? What type of level of annual income are you accustomed to making? So what have you been doing in the past up to this point? And then right in the middle, being able to explain your business model in a way that's not long and drawn out, right to the point, that helps them understand what it is, how you do things, why you do it, what you're looking for in potential partners, and what they can expect from you. And then on the backside, the other bookend, you want to know the motivating factor, which is the level of annual income they're actually looking to make with you. So what have they done in the past? What do they understand about the business? And what are they looking to do in the future? There's three types of people. Two you want to attract into your business if they're the right fit. The third one you want to constantly and consistently disqualify. The two that you want to bring in are winners. And then the second person that you want to bring in is somebody who has not yet discovered how to win. The third group is what we call losers. And that's not something you want to bring into your business. That's something you want to disqualify, not spend much time on. You want to spend time on attracting top talent, and also those people who have not yet discovered how to win. You want to look for people eager for success. Remember, past success is not necessarily a leading indicator of future success. They've still got to have the energy, the intensity, the drive, the motivation. They've still got to be eager for that success. And success in our business comes from a lot of different points. So they have to understand success in our business comes from leveraging and learning how to use things like the leadership, clients, partners and professionals, products and providers, the technology and social media, and the other tools that we provide. So understanding the business model, understanding how to make money, and then understanding how to leverage what we have to offer to create not only a success, but a velocity in reaching that success is very important in the conversation. And then you have to explain there are expectations. This is not something where you want to bring people in and say, oh, I'll give it a try. You want to bring people in that are ready to go, committed to the process, and that you guys have had that conversation about what we expect from them, what they can expect from us, and then you're making a commitment that we're going to meet in the middle to get this done. Also, in the conversation, depending on what you're doing for your build out, like we are mostly virtual. So when you look at the virtual build out, I'm not asking for a lot of those expenses that go along with the traditional physical build out. But what I am asking is, hey, if we're relocating the office to a virtual environment, then those expenses need to be relocated or reallocated to things that will help your business, like digital marketing strategy, lead generation, automation. If you invest nothing in the business, then your return off that investment is going to be nothing. Now, if somebody has little or no funds coming in, there's a way they can build that up. But overall, as you move forward, you have to make investments into your business. If somebody's unwilling to make the investments, even when you've shaved off expenses, probably a red flag leading indicator. They have maybe interest in this, but they're not really committed to the process. And that's really what you're trying to decipher in the sorting process. Is this person, if I'm interested in them and I'm committed to them, are they interested or committed in what they're talking about, which is their life, their business, their goals, and their dreams? Because most all of us are interested in a better future. Far few are committed to that process. So once you identify the winners or those who have not yet discovered how to win, Now you have to sort those people by interest and commitment. You are looking for the committed because there's time, energy, resources that go in as an investment. Once again, if you're investing time, energy, resources into other people, they're going to help your business. They need to be the right fit. Because all of this that's going to happen is going to come from being uncomfortable. Remember, growth and comfort don't exist. So when you're talking about the ability to really understand what's going on with your business, then, the commitment is going to drive them to get out of the comfort zone and do the things necessary to build the business. The interest side is not going to be enough to break them out of the comfort zone and get them moving. Always, 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 no matter what point you are, early on, middle, late stages, when it's time to disqualify, whether it's been 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, whatever it is, no matter where you are in that communication, when you reach the point of disqualification, it's time to move on. Don't fit people, or don't try to fit people into your organization that are not going to fit, because then you're going right back to what we talked about earlier. You're just throwing things against the wall to see if they fit. It's not an effective strategy. You have to decide, what is your primary motivation in recruiting? I recruit to build distribution. I don't recruit to sell people products and services. So you have to decide if you're recruiting to sell, recruiting to build, whatever your primary motivation is, you have to identify that. I'm looking for dedicated distribution partners, those that understand the business model, the turnkey business system, the resources, the infrastructure, everything that we have set up, where they can just come in and help us build nationwide distribution of our products and services. That means that if I'm attracting the right type of people, I'm always only one partner away from explosive growth, but that doesn't come without headaches. You have to realize that the recruitment process, just like every company basically is trying to grow in this country right now, is looking for talented people. It's no different in your business. There's a lot of people out there that you have to sift through to find what you're looking for. It's not going to be an even ride. It's going to be ups and downs. And just like on the client side, you have to be even keel, not get too high, not get too low. Keep your eye on what you can control, which is your energy, your intensity, your action, your measurement, your accountability. Things will fall into place. Everybody is wired different. It's okay. It makes the world go around. You're only looking for a select type of people. Once again, don't try to force things that don't fit into your organization, because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to build the people part of your business. We have the processes, we have the products in place. It's the people. That's the P you're responsible for. So this is what you need to keep in mind as you're going forward. If I'm talking to a potential partner, what is that potential partner's financial situation right now? If it's the 15th of the month and we're still working on getting rent or mortgage for the next 2 weeks on the 1st, that could be a problematic leading indicator, because if you have financial constraints, if you're worried about paying your bills, then you're not going to be able to give your full concentration to the business build out. Another question you need to actively ask yourself when you're talking to people is, what are your potential partners' expectations on the time involved? Remember, if you give little to no time investment, there can't be any real backside positive outcome. Somebody's going to give you a couple hours a week, disqualified. It's time to move on. You're looking for people. Yes, we champion the cause of part-time, but that doesn't mean, this is a hobby. It's a business. There has to be commitment during those hours that are invested. Is your potential partner's commitment to the business as strong as yours? If you're committed to the business and you're identifying other people that have as strong a commitment as you, good things are going to happen. Once again, that comes from the disqualification process of understanding, is this person interested in what I'm talking about and what I'm doing? Are they committed to seeing it through? Is there something in your potential partner's family life that would make this business a secondary interest? Listen, we all have personal commitments and responsibilities. We all have things that are going on in our life. That's not what I'm talking about. Is there some issue where it's such a big issue or so overwhelming or such a time commitment that this would just fall on the back burner? Because guess what happens? If it's not a priority and we're not committed to it, then you just bring people in, they just drift and they eventually quit. And it's a waste of your time and it's a waste of their time. And those energy and resources during that time were all wasted. How would they handle a tough situation? Being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, building a business from the ground floor is not without problems. Most of the time, being an entrepreneur just means that you are just solving problems all day. So if somebody's in a tough situation and they react negatively, they get angry, they don't concentrate on the solution, they dwell on the problem, that's also a problematic leading indicator, because how are they going to react day to day when most of the time what we're doing is solving problems? What questions do they have for me? It's important to know this on 2 points. Number one, if they have no questions, that's probably going to be a problem. And number two, if the questions are just such that you understand that they're actually looking for a reason not to go forward, you have to be able to identify that. So it's what they say and what they don't say. Both of those can be, disqualifications in the process. Are they willing to put in everything necessary to be successful? Once again, interest versus commitment. If we're committed, we're going to see it through, because now we have activity. Now we have intensity. Now we bring energy. Now we're willing to measure and have targets or objectives and be accountable. When we're not willing to do everything necessary to be successful, we don't want to do those things. And we look at those things in a different negative connotation as not helping us, but, kind of just watching us. Do I really need this partner? And that's probably one of the easiest, but the most important questions that you can ask yourself during the conversation. Do I really need this person? Is this person going to be an asset to my business? Or are they just going to be someone who just sucks out my time, my energy? Remember, your job as a business owner, as a builder, is to spend time with the people who deserve your time, not just need your time. And then what happens if it can't work out? What happens if we can't work out this business relationship? What about if we start, but for some reason they don't finish, they can't make it? Is it going to be my fault? Are they going to take personal responsibility? That's something you have to see, because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, it's like playing a game like chess. You need to be a few moves ahead. And this is one of those moves. If you want something, if you want nationwide distribution of product services, if you want to build nationwide agencies, if you want an abundant, flourishing business, go out and just make it happen, period. That means understanding that you've got two parts to your business. You've got direct marketing, you've got networking. You need to understand, as an active recruiter who's building a business, you need to learn the art of networking. Networking is just learning how to talk to people, ask questions, get them talking, insert yourself in the conversation in the appropriate place in the appropriate way. The combination of marketing and networking is, an effective way to build your business. If you're unwilling to market, or you're unwilling to network, you're unwilling to show interest in other people, to build interest in what you're doing, you're not going to be an effective recruiter in this industry or any industry. And just like on the client side, a lot of this stuff straddles both sides of the fence, because if you've got a qualified partner that you're interested in, follow up with them. It may be not the right timing now, but that doesn't mean you just let it sit out there and get stale and forget about it. That means at the appropriate time, you're following up and staying in front of these people to make sure that they know, hey, you're still here. This business is still flourishing. We still need talented people like you. Let's make it happen. Just like anything that you do, it's about activity. If you have activity, consistent activity, continuing activity, over X period of time, things get done. If you start and stop, or really don't start at a decent velocity, then it feels like the walls are closing in. And it's a lot harder to build a business when you feel like nothing's happening, like we're stuck in neutral here. 90 to 120 days to build any type of a pipeline. So that's what you have to understand, is when you are doing anything, if you've been on the sales side and now you're on the building side, still the same rules apply. It's going to take 3 or 4 months to build an effective pipeline, get in front of the right people, have different people in cycles of communication, creating the right outcomes for you. There's 2 E's that you need to remember. That's excitement and execution. Be excited about your business and go out in there and be able to, relay that emotion, relay that excitement over to the other side. And whatever your plan of action, in this case today, we're talking about effective recruitment. Whatever that plan of action for effective recruitment is, you have to go out and execute, make it happen. Remember, a plan of action with no execution, just a wish. And then you have to be able to make sure that you develop into a leader. People are going to be attracted to the person who they think they can help them reach their personal, professional goals, get them to that end destination they're looking for. Leadership, if everything times 1,000, become a leader, then build other leaders. Your digital factory, always look at it. How is your digital factory looking? If there's not a lot of raw material coming in the front side, that's problematic. That's what you need to solve. If there's something, some type of holdup in the middle, you need to evaluate it. Be honest about where you are in your business. Be honest about what's working, what's not working, and be willing to go out there and fix the holes and the deficiency in your business. Consistency is everything. Like I said, the start and stop momentum that so many people adapt as a business model is like you never ever start in the first place. So whatever you're going to do, stay consistent and be consistent on a day-to-day, week-to-week action, and then create something that's systematic. So whereas you may leave in the coming years, your business still continues. Everybody's doing the same thing. It's systematic, what you've created. And the way that you lock people into your business, if you want to create dedicated distribution partners, is learn how to lock people in with ownership. That means for the right people, give them a reason to stay around when they start building, because if they're locked in with ownership, they've got something to lose if they leave. They have more of a reason to stay around. So you've got different ways to help people. Obviously, training, support, coaching, mentoring. There's also some other things you can do. If they're trying to make things happen, lock them in with ownership, give them a reason to stick around. And like we talked about earlier, don't try to force pieces that don't fit. Even if you had a run, you're not bringing in partners in right now, don't sacrifice the persona. Don't sacrifice the message just to get a number on the board. Bring in the right people. And then, like we always talk about, no matter what side of the business, client or partner, with the right people under the right persona that you're interested in, you're and you're making a commitment to, be obsessed with the next action step. Just don't leave things out there to be decided by whatever happens, or the other side. Be obsessed with the next action step. What are we doing next? Agency in motion. This is all about building, operating, and managing agencies in the 21st century.